Hey friends, I am checking in just to see how you are and um, make some contact. We have updated a whole bunch of things at the church that I hope that you're finding. There's a new virtual church page on our website. There are some updates to my e-newsletter that's coming out unpredictably, let's say 3 times a week. I'm calling it Pastor's Update, and trying to also get all of those things linked to social media. Um, all the trying tos and the shoulds and the doings. I can feel myself already getting a little too wrapped up in crisis mode, and I wonder if that resonates with some of you too. Feeling the kind of panic and preparation and all that energy that goes into stocking your cabinets and getting ready to be home, and if you've got kids at home, the homeschooling in addition to the home working, and there's been a lot of doing, and I'm calling myself back to the being part. We talked about that on Sunday. I said at the beginning of Lent that was going to be one of the challenges, right? It was about the being, and not just who am I called to be individually, but who are we as a community called to be. So I'm doing some work outside today to hear the bird song and watch the lizards running around and playing. I've made some steps toward my own self-care to get into a rhythm that is sustainable. Taking email off of my phone, taking Twitter off of my phone, the things that I know work for me. I'm subscribed to the city's 888-777. Text in COVID-19 and you'll get the alert. So I know I'll get alerts. And having a couple of times a day where I sit down and do engage email and might look at Twitter and some of that as well. Probably around 11 a.m. and then again around 3 p.m. is kind of what I'm thinking right now with email. Because I know if I stay in a pattern of being constantly available and constantly engaged and constantly online, how is that taking me away from the opportunity of this moment? Is there an opportunity in this moment to just be here? And I don't want us to replicate church online the way church was for most of the 20th century. We're 20 years now into the 21st century. What are the opportunities for us to hold a different kind of space, create a different kind of space that is more about our being and less about our doing? So I'm taking those deep breaths, being really intentional and purposeful, and listening to the bird song today. I hope that a bunch of you will join me for happy hour at 5:30 today. It's on our Zoom call, and that information is on Facebook and on the church website on the virtual church page, and then also in my Pastor's Update newsletter. And I have set that same link to work every Wednesday at 5:30, and the same worship link will work every Sunday morning at 11. Leadership team meets tomorrow, and we'll talk a little bit about timeline of all of this. You know, just like I do, that the CDC is talking about a minimum of 8 weeks. So don't be surprised when we probably come back around and say we're talking about a minimum of 8 weeks here. And 8 weeks is way too long, even if that's all it ends up being, to stay in that anxious, crisis mode, fretful place. So if you, like me, have been in that place, I invite you to make a day of taking some breaths and finding some beauty, and let's work on a rhythm and a routine that's more sustainable, and let's work on making this community that we create here in virtual church the best part of who we are, and lean into creativity and imagination, and what are the opportunities and the gifts even in this moment in which we find ourselves. I'm grateful for you, St. Charles. I do miss you, and I really hope we have a bunch of folks rowdy, just getting rowdy at 5:30, and we can laugh and talk and connect and talk about what you're watching, what you're streaming, what you're doing with your kids, what are the ways that we are getting into our bodies and moving. I did some yoga this morning. Glad to tell you about that too. Get your hands in the earth and get some sunshine on your skin if you can. Grace and peace be with you, and friends, be gentle with yourselves and with each other. Bye-bye.